Vietnam's history is not a straight line. It is a chain of kingdoms, invasions, uprisings, empires, colonization, famine, revolution, and wars that shaped one of Asia's most resilient nations. Long before modern Vietnam existed, there was Vân Long said to have lasted from 2524 to 258 BC. After it came the Kingdom of Olak, founded in 258 BC. But Olak did not survive for long. In 179 BC, Zhao Tu, Emperor of Nanyue, invaded and took control. Then came an even larger power. The Han Dynasty conquered Nanyue, beginning roughly 1,000 years of Chinese domination over Vietnam. During this period, Confucianism and Buddhism entered Vietnamese society, but control was never accepted quietly. From the uprising of the Trung sisters in 40 CE to later revolts over the centuries, resistance kept returning again and again. In 602, the Sui dynasty fought the former Li. Then in 938, everything changed at the Battle of Bạch Đằng. Ngo Quyên defeated the invading forces, proclaimed himself king, and set the capital at Co Loa. After a millennium of domination, Vietnam was independent again. China itself was unstable. After the Tang collapsed, entering the 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms period later, the Song dynasty rose. Conflicts followed, including the Song-Dai-Co-Viet War in 981, and the Song-Dai-Viet War from 1075 to 1077. Then came the Mongols. While the Mongol Empire was attacking the Song dynasty from 1235 to 1279, Dai-Viet under the Tran dynasty faced its own invasions. The Mongols attacked 3 times, in 1258, 1285, and 1287 to 1288. Each time, Dai-Viet defeated them. Vietnam also expanded southward through the conquest of Champa, but danger returned from the north. In 1406, the Ming dynasty invaded Dai Ngu, the name of Vietnam, under the Ho dynasty. From 1418 to 1427, the Lam Son uprising fought back. It succeeded, and Lê Loi became emperor, founding the later Lê dynasty. Later came the Dai Viet Lan Sang War from 1479 to 1484, and expansion into Chen La, with 6 provinces captured, according to the Nguyen dynasty. In 1789, Emperor Quang Trung defeated a massive Qing invasion, said to number 290,000 troops. The Tay Son dynasty rose, but it was also drawn into the Tay Son Nguyen Civil War from 1787 to 1802. In 1802, the Nguyen dynasty was founded, becoming Vietnam's last feudal dynasty. The Nguyen rulers suppressed Western missionaries, but France was rising as a colonial threat. On September 1, 1858, a French-Spanish coalition attacked Da Nang. Then came the invasion of Cochinchina, with the treaties of Saigon in 1862 and 1874. Tonkin was invaded first in 1873, then again from 1882 to 1883. After the treaties of Hue in 1883 and 1884, Vietnam became a colony of the French Third Republic. French Indochina was established on October 17, 1887. The Sino-French War followed from 1884 to 1885. After the French-Siamese crisis of 1893, Laos was added to Indochina. Vietnamese people also served during World War I from 1914 to 1918. Then came World War II. In 1940, Nazi Germany invaded France and the Vichy government under Philippe Pétain took power. Japan invaded Indochina from September 22 to 26, 1940. The Franco-Thai War followed from October 1940 to May 9, 1941. After Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, the war in Asia intensified. Under Ho Chi Minh, the Communist Party of Vietnam and the Viet Minh resisted the Japanese. Meanwhile, famine devastated Tonkin and central provinces from 1944 to 1945. Around 2 million people died. In 1945, Japan staged a coup in French Indochina and created the Empire of Vietnam as a Japanese puppet state. But after Japan surrendered on August 15, 1945, the August Revolution erupted on August 19. The First Indochina War began on December 19, 1946, and lasted until August 1, 1954. Major campaigns followed. Operation Leia, the Battle of Route Coloniale. 4. The Battle of Hua Bin, the Northwest Campaign, the Upper Laos Campaign, and finally, the Battle of Điện Biên Phủ. At 5:30 p.m. on May 7, 1954, General Christian de Castries surrendered. The Điện Biên Phủ campaign ended in victory. The Geneva Conference followed on July 21, 1954. But the country remained divided, and the Vietnam War began on November 1, 1955. The Laotian Civil War also broke out in 1959. On December 20, 1960, the National Front for the Liberation of the South was formed under Nguyen Hu Tho. The United States and its allies escalated the war through the Staley-Taylor Plan, joint warfare in South Vietnam, and Vietnamization. The Cu Chi tunnels became a symbol of resistance. The U.S. dropped 15.35 million tons of bombs on Vietnam, while the Soviet Union and socialist countries supported Vietnam. The Tet Offensive began in 1968. Later, after Operation Linebacker 2 failed and 34 B-52 bombers were shot down, the U.S. and its allies withdrew after the Paris Agreement on January 27, 1973. Then came the 1975 Spring Offensive, the Battle of Buon Ma Thuot, the Hue Da Nang Campaign, the Battle of Sun Luk, and finally, the fall of Saigon brought the war to an end at 11:30 a.m. on April 30, 1975. The flag of the Provisional Revolutionary Government of South Vietnam flew over Independence Palace. Cho Duc was the last province, liberated on May 2, 1975. Vietnam was unified. On July 2, 1976, the Socialist Republic of Vietnam was established. But peace did not come easily. The Cambodian Civil War ended in 1975, and the Cambodian-Vietnamese War began in 1978. This became part of the wider Third Indochina War. The Sino-Vietnamese War began in 1979 and continued in stages until 1991. Vietnam withdrew from Cambodia on September 30, 1989. Then the Soviet Union collapsed on December 25, 1991. Vietnam entered a new era and joined ASEAN on July 28, 1995, becoming its 7th member. From ancient kingdoms to foreign domination, from colonial rule to revolution, from war to reunification, Vietnam's history is a story of survival, resistance, and independence.